I, Sylvia, married my husband Charles, who does not like me. 3 years later, his white moonlight returned to the country, and my husband Charles personally went to pick her up, abandoning our wedding anniversary. Because their family prefers a traditional daughter-in-law, I pretended to be a lady for 3 years, but after the divorce, I stopped pretending. Switching back to my main account, watch me dominate all directions. I, Sylvia, relying on the marriage agreement from the older generation, successfully became Charles's wife as wished. However, my own husband Charles does not like me, because he has his white moonlight summer, but Margaret disagreed and forcibly sent Summer abroad, yet required him to marry me. For 3 years, Charles has not looked at me properly, and he is even unwilling to touch me. Because of Charles's fairly decent face, I admired his looks and chased him like a simp for 3 years. I dressed myself in Summer style, trying to make him like me a bit more. But in return, I got, Sylvia, aren't you disgusting? Even if you imitate her perfectly, you can never be her. For 3 years, I pleased him, pleased his family, did things I did not like, dressed myself in the style his family preferred, and I have almost forgotten my personality from 3 years ago. And today is the day Summer returns to the country, which is also our wedding anniversary. I was abandoned again. Indeed, I have never been the chosen one. How many times do I have to be abandoned before I understand? Moreover, to say how much Charles dislikes me, it is probably that on the wedding day, the divorce agreement was delivered to me, just waiting for my signature. Charles, oh Charles, how much you must hate me to be so eager. Tears slid down my cheeks, accompanied by low sobs. At that moment, Chloe called, Sylvia, I think I saw your husband with his white moonlight Summer. Wait, I'll send you a photo. In the photo, Summer intimately linked arms with Charles, smiling sweetly. This kind of Charles is something I have never seen before, and my heart aches like being pricked by needles. Sylvia, are you okay? Chloe, can you take a video for me, a closer one? Don't let them notice. Your reaction is off. Before, you would have rushed over immediately. Could it be that you figured it out? That's impossible, you like Charles so much. Chloe, I want a divorce, and I want to let myself go too. Really, you're not fooling me. Sylvia, long ago, I wanted to crack open your skull to see if it was filled with water, turned into paste. What's so good about that, Charles? It's like he cast a spell on you, you chased him like a fool for 3 years. But, good, you finally figured it out. Don't regret it in a few days, I'll look down on you. Once you're divorced, I'll take you out to have a blast. I'm going to follow them now. Chloe the little reporter is online. Wait for me to bring back first-hand information. Hanging up. This Chloe is still the same as before, at least someone has always been on my side, which is really good. Since I'm getting divorced, I need to go home and at least notify my family. As for the food on the table, Aunt, clear the things on the table, and tidy up the room too. Madam, aren't you waiting for the sir anymore? No need to wait, he probably won't come back. After saying that, I went upstairs. If divorcing, I probably can't take anything away. After all, on the surface, my family is no longer the previous Sue family, and Charles's family probably wouldn't agree. Forget it, I didn't bring much when I came, so I'll leave with nothing. Not necessarily, I never looked at the divorce agreement because at the time, I was wholeheartedly thinking that even a stone could be warmed one day. It seems I overestimated myself. Charles's heart is ice, the kind that doesn't melt for 1,000 years. Since I've figured it out, I shouldn't hesitate anymore. Wearing Summer's mask for so long, I've almost forgotten my previous personality. Just as Aunt was cleaning up, Charles actually came back. Sir, you're back. Where is the madam? The madam waited for you for a long time. Since you didn't come back, she went upstairs to rest. What is this? This is what the madam prepared to celebrate your 3rd wedding anniversary. Since sir didn't come, madam had us clear it away. Wedding anniversary, indeed he neglected it, but Sylvia probably wouldn't mind. He clearly thought so in his heart, but he always felt like something was slipping away. When going to the airport to pick up Summer this afternoon, Charles was indeed happy, but once he actually arrived, he always felt something was missing. But Summer is still the Summer from 3 years ago, still the appearance he likes. She just returned and invited him to accompany her for dinner. He didn't think much and went. As a result, it wasn't just him, it turned out she prepared a welcome banquet, but since he went with her, he couldn't avoid being teased. People in the circle all know he is married, but they also know he doesn't like Sylvia. However, since the two haven't divorced yet, he can't go too far. When the meal was finished, Charles saw that Sylvia had called him many times. He felt irritated and didn't want to deal with it. At this time, Summer invited him to sit at her house. Normally, he would have agreed, but today, for some reason, he inexplicably refused. Only when he returned home did his heart slowly calm down. It turned out he forgot that today was his and Sylvia's wedding anniversary. He would find a time to make up the gift to Sylvia. It should be fine, as Sylvia is easy to coax, just like 3 years ago. Thinking of this, Charles lay down in the secondary bedroom and fell asleep with peace of mind. The next day at the dining table, Charles expressed his apology to Sylvia, saying he was delayed by something and came back late. The gift was prepared, and he would have the assistant deliver it later. I only faintly replied got it, and then there was no follow-up. Charles couldn't help but look at me a few more times, not finding anything different from usual, and went to work as normal. If I said I didn't know he went to pick up Summer yesterday and even attended Summer's welcome banquet, I might still feel happy, but when I saw Summer's Instagram post this morning, I gave up completely. Something about going around in circles, old friends are all by her side, how disgusting. Although she didn't specify, every photo revealed partial features of Charles. It's self-evident who this old friend refers to. Aunt, no need to make my lunch today, I'm going back to my mom's house for a bit and won't eat at home. Okay, madam, then should we still deliver lunch to the president today? Do as you see fit. After saying that, I took the car keys and went out. Dear Mom, your precious daughter is back. Sylvia is back, why did you suddenly come home? Did something happen? Can't I come back just because I miss you and Dad? Does it have to be for something else? I gave birth to you, don't I know your temperament? What happened again? Mom, I want to divorce Charles. Daniel interjected, what did Dad tell you back then? He told you not to marry, but you didn't listen and insisted on going all the way. Wasn't I blind back then? Now I see clearly, Dad. Alright, I'll call your 2 younger brothers back and hold a family meeting. No need, Dad, they don't have to participate. You shut up. Sylvia, listen to your dad. Okay, Mom. Half an hour later, the whole family sat together and began discussing my divorce. Big brother Eric said, Big sister, if you divorce, then I'll return the company to you. It was you managing it before, and if not for your marriage, I wouldn't have been forced to take over like a duck on a perch. Second brother Mason followed Eric, Big sister, if you divorce, can I go settle scores with Charles? I've disliked him for a long time. Isn't this discussing my divorce? How come one of you is thinking of running away, and the other beating someone up? My dear big sister, where's your previous arrogant and domineering energy? Plus our family's financial power, we can crush the Gu family in minutes. We both think that after being a housewife for 3 years, your brain has been wasted away. If not for our family always keeping a low profile and never appearing in public, who would think that the Sioux family, one of the 2 major families in Luo City, lives in the bustling downtown? The Gu family's rapid development is due to our family's support. Also, the Sylvia from 3 years ago was a decisive and ruthless female CEO. Just thinking about your tormenting methods makes one shiver. Only our dad and mom think you're friendly. Eric and Mason thought of the days when they were disciplined by their sister as children. It was too painful. Big sister, do whatever you want, anyway, our whole family has your back. If the sky falls, Dad will hold it up. You little brat, are you itching for a beating? Daniel said. Then, Eric, you start withdrawing some collaborations with the Gu family. Mason, if you want to beat someone, don't get caught, otherwise, it's not too late to do it after I'm divorced. We can't leave any handles for the Gu family. On the other side, Charles was eating the lunch delivered from home today. The taste was not quite the same as before. Charles, I went to deliver the gift to the madam, but Aunt said, the madam went to the Sue family. I gave the gift to Aunt. Okay, got it. At this time, Summer's message popped up. Charles, are you free tonight? To thank you for your recommendation that got me into the Bow family, I want to treat you to dinner. Is there any arrangement tonight? Yes, Charles, tonight is the fixed day for you and Madam to return to the old house. Okay, got it. Charles replied to Summer's message, yes, then see you at 6 tonight. He also sent a message to me, labeled as wife, going to the old house tonight, I'll be a bit late, you go first. And I had already signed the divorce agreement and gone through the legal procedures. Tonight is the last time going to the old house. I, Sylvia, am about to return to myself. Madam, we've arrived at the old house. Got it, open the door and get out. Of course, I didn't bring any gifts, after all, there's no need anymore, right? Mom, I heard Sister Summer is back and even entered the Bow group. This is my original sister-in-law. It's all Sylvia's fault. If not for her bringing the marriage certificate, Grandma wouldn't have let brother marry her. Before even entering the door, I heard my sister-in-law Vivian saying derogatory words about me. Indeed, from the beginning, the sister-in-law she recognized was Summer, not me, who took over midway like a cuckoo occupying a magpie's nest. Of course, Helen also looks down on me. After all, I'm from a small family, providing no help to her son, whereas Summer is at least the daughter of the By group. Mom, I'm here. Where is Charles? Why didn't he come with you? Didn't your parents teach you basic etiquette? You don't even know to bring something. You've been married for 3 years with no movement in your belly. Why did the Goo family marry a hen that doesn't lay eggs like you? Are you mute? Speak up. Now that Summer is back, that's the daughter-in-law I recognize. You'd better be sensible and divorce my son quickly. Don't occupy the latrine without shitting. Richard also said, Sylvia, you're a good girl, but as you can see, you've been married for 3 years, and Charles still hasn't come to like you. It's time to let go when you should. I remained silent without speaking. Margaret had just passed away not long ago. Because Summer hadn't returned to the country, they didn't speak up, but now one by one, their foxtails are showing. Charles arrived belatedly at this time. He looked at me, then at his parents, and only said, it's time to eat. My last bit of hope was gone. Even if he said one word for me, I wouldn't feel that these 3 years were too bad, but he didn't. I am just a joke. No need, I've already signed the divorce agreement and gone through the legal process. Whenever you have time, Charles, come with me to get the divorce certificate. When did I give you the divorce agreement? You gave it 3 years ago, but I didn't sign it. I disagree. Charles panicked for no reason, but he didn't know why, he just didn't want to. Brother, haven't you been waiting for Sister Summer these 3 years? Now she's back, and Sylvia agrees to divorce. Why are you opposing? Yes, son, such a good opportunity. You have to seize the time to divorce quickly. What are you hesitating for? I don't know. I don't know. Tomorrow morning at 8, I'll wait for you at the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance. I hope you can be on time. Charles tried to grab my leaving hand, but I dodged it. I went home and packed my things, pitifully few. It turns out the traces of my life here are just this much. Charles didn't come back after all, because Summer found him again. Summer's Instagram updated again, one at 6 in the afternoon, her eating with Charles, and one now, her in the hospital with Charles accompanying her. I was never Charles's exception, only Summer is. Even if he has feelings for me, he won't delve into it, won't want to figure out why. In front of Summer, my affection is worthless. Only benefits are what he wants most. My heart hurts so much, realizing someone doesn't like you is really hurtful. The next morning, Charles still came, whether it was his own thought or forced by his parents. In the end, I was the option he abandoned first. When the two came out of the Civil Affairs Bureau door, Summer was waiting outside, so impatient. Sylvia, wait a moment, Charles, you're out, let's go. I didn't look at the two of them and started walking towards my own path. Chloe, this old lady is liberated, but also very sad. Come out and drink with me. Wait for me, I'll be there right away. In the evening at the bar, I changed out of the clothes from the Gu family, whatever obedient daughter-in-law, go to hell. Now this Sylvia in a red dress, with big wavy hair, and enchanting makeup is the real me. Sylvia, congratulations on regaining your single life. To celebrate your escape from the bitter sea of marriage, I ordered 10 male models for you, sleep with whichever you like. Am I a good sister or what? With hazy eyes, I leaned forward, touching this one's abs, pinching another's chest muscles, not quite satisfied. I'm going outside to pick. With that said, I carried my wine glass and walked out of the private room. Before arriving, I bumped into a group of people coming towards me, crashing into the leader's embrace, and the wine glass fell to the ground. Ouch, that hurts. Who are you? But you have a nice body, I like it. Saying that, I touched with my hand, looked up. Why is this person's face so sour? And he looks like her rival Adrian, but since you're good looking, I won't mind. I domineeringly said, accompany me for a night, name your price. My groping hand was grabbed, and a pleasant voice came, are you sure? Of course, why are you so nagging? Noisy. I directly tiptoed and kissed his lips. Sylvia, you. Chloe was glared at by Adrian and didn't dare to speak. Joking aside, who was Adrian? The head of the Beau family, one of the two major families in Luo City. Even her dad has to nod and bow when seeing him. The people following Adrian, seeing their president being molested, didn't dare to make a sound. One by one, they lowered their heads like ostriches, fearing the president would see them. I kissed for a while. Adrian had no reaction, so I directly said, are you impotent? Growing so good-looking is a waste. Adrian scooped me into his arms, picked me up, and whispered in my ear, whether I'm capable or not, you'll know in a bit. This person, I'm taking away. This sentence was said to Chloe, with no room for refusal. You all disperse and go back, the remaining matters, wait until I return to the company tomorrow. Okay, President. When I was brought back to his apartment by Adrian, I was even more dizzy, but I still remembered to say to the person on me, be gentle, it's my first time sleeping with someone. It seemed to amuse him angrily, got it. The feeling of a hangover is really bad, my head hurts so much. Where is this? Consciousness returned, I seemed to have slept with a man yesterday. Awake? A voice came from the dark bedroom. Damn, can you not speak without warning? It's really scary, okay? I see you were quite bold yesterday, even teasing people, Sylvia. As the lights in the bedroom turned on, I saw clearly the person beside me. Adrian, how is it you? If not me, who did you think it was? Hee, if I say yesterday was all a misunderstanding, would you believe it? What do you think? Who was it last night touching me like a nympho? Look, is there any good spot on my body? Adrian, was slept with by someone. What do you say we do about it? Let me interject, I suffered a loss too, okay? It was my first time and besides, I offered money. Do you think I lack your money? Then what do you want? Make me responsible for you? I just got divorced and now marry again, what is this? Sylvia, you're still as annoying as before. After saying that, Adrian got out of bed. What does he mean? How did I annoy him? As members of the two major families in Luo City, we knew each other since we were young. We went to elementary, middle, and high school together, but no one knew my identity, whereas he, because he was too good-looking and attracted too much attention, was exposed. In university, he went abroad to develop, while I stayed with my parents. It seems he sent a gift when I got married. It was also because the Beau family sent a gift that people in the circle thought the Gu family had climbed onto the Beau family, opening the market for the Gu family, only I know it was specifically sent to me. Before I could think much, Chloe's call came. Hey, Sylvia, are you okay? Chloe, why didn't you stop me a bit yesterday? Sylvia, that's Adrian, I didn't dare to stop, and couldn't stop him. How are you now? What else? I was eaten clean. Wait until I have time to tell you. I have something here, hanging up first. Sylvia, I didn't expect that with your personality, you would willingly be a housewife for 3 years. Not to mention you didn't expect it, I myself never thought of it. So now? What are you thinking? I want to go back to being the president of the Sue Group, and moreover, I'll take back everything the Goo Group has obtained through our family these years. After all, I've never been a good person. Then, do you want to play something bigger? Get engaged to me. The titles of Bo Group President's fiancé plus Sue Group President are enough to let you walk sideways in the business world. Adrian, you don't like me, do you? Trying every way to make me marry you. You're really quite slow. In the end, I still agreed. It's quite fun, isn't it? Because Adrian is getting engaged, the Goo Group is also on the invitation list. Before it was my turn to appear, I went a bit late, and as a result, I bumped into Charles and them. Before I could speak, Vivian directly said, "Sylvia, why are you here? This is Adrian's engagement banquet, not for someone of your status to enter." I know, you must be here to block brother, right? I tell you, don't daydream, brother is about to get engaged to sister Summer too. Give up on that. Is it possible that I am Adrian's fiancé? Did you hear that? This Sylvia must be crazy, saying she is Adrian's fiancé, she must have gone mad. I ignored them and walked away directly. However, Summer wouldn't let me go and insisted on coming in front of me. "Sylvia, 3 years ago, you took my position as Mrs. Goo. If not for Margaret, why would I have gone abroad for 3 years? Now that you've divorced Charles, be sensible and don't always lean towards Charles. What, your proud relationship has deteriorated, and you still need me, the original wife, to guide you? You're sick." Before Summer returned, she believed Charles, but after Charles divorced, he would often space out looking at her, and even once called her Sylvia. This is something she couldn't tolerate. Later, she subtly mentioned she wanted to get married, but Charles kept finding various excuses to refuse her. She could wait, but her family couldn't. Sylvia hadn't walked a few steps when she was entangled by Charles again. "Sylvia, how have you been lately? Is there something?" Charles. I regret it. After you left, I realized I like you. Can we remarry? If it were before, hearing Charles say this, I would definitely be happy, but now, no. I hope Charles respects himself. "Charles, Adrian is here, let's go greet him." During this, Summer still glared at me viciously with her eyes, but turned around with a smiling face. How come I never felt she was so good at changing faces before? "Sister, why did you run here? I've been looking for you for half a day. Hurry, you'll be on stage soon." Got it, my identity hasn't been revealed, right? No, outside they don't know who is getting engaged to Adrian, not even which family. Good, otherwise it wouldn't be fun later. Welcome everyone to my son's engagement banquet. I hope everyone eats and plays well. Now, please welcome our protagonists. Adrian held my hand and slowly walked down the stairs. When everyone saw clearly the future Mrs. Adrian, many were shocked. This is shocking? This is just the beginning. How is that possible? Mom, that's Sylvia, right? She really is Adrian's fiancée, Vivian said, shaking Helen. People who know my relationship with Charles all looked at Charles with confused faces. Isn't this Sylvia Charles's wife? How did she become Adrian's fiancée? I looked at Summer's jealous face below, and Charles's face full of anger. The taste of revenge is so satisfying. Everyone, my fiancée previously met an unworthy person. It was not easy for her to take a fancy to me. Please don't make things difficult for her. Adrian was backing her up, a feeling I've never experienced before. Quite nice. Adrian has said it to this extent, anyone who doesn't understand is asking for trouble. Congratulations, Adrian, congratulations, Adrian. Whether intentional or not, Adrian specifically pulled me to Charles's side. Sylvia, say hello. Sylvia, you divorced me because you climbed onto the Bow family's big tree, right? You had a better choice, so you discarded me. Helen tried to pull Charles to make him shut up. Sylvia, she is now Adrian's fiancée, you can't say things casually. But the heated Charles wouldn't consider these. Isn't this obvious? Someone richer than you, handsomer than you, better in bed than you, even a fool knows who to choose. Oh, forgot, you never touched me. Moreover, we're already divorced, my marriage is free, you have no right to control me. You, Sylvia, how come I never noticed your mouth was so eloquent before? Now you know. Fiancé, I don't like them here, can you have them escorted out? Okay, all as you wish. Instruct them, from now on, the Beau Group's business invitations will not invite the GU Group, and stop all cooperation projects related to the GU Group. Are you satisfied with this handling? Satisfied, I'm very satisfied. Only at this point did Charles sober up. Sylvia is no longer someone he can treat casually. Adrian, listen to my explanation, I just. Before he could finish, they were already escorted out of the banquet. Being escorted out of the Beau family's banquet, probably no one in Luo City would be willing to cooperate with the GU family, even if there are, very few. Charles, the good show is still to come. After the engagement ceremony was held, I began to take over the Sue Group. Eric was overjoyed. Mason also got his wish and beat Charles up. As for the GU family, Eric had previously had someone connect, saying that as long as they can win this snatching bidding project, the Sue Group will establish a cooperative relationship with them. Having lost the Beau family as a backer, the Sue family is their only way out. They have to work hard, but for the snatching bidding project, the GU family has to put in all their assets to handle it. It depends on Charles's choice. Charles once sent me messages asking me to plead with Adrian, but why should I? Being the president still feels good, I can stand here directing the country, not being ordered around. After the engagement, Adrian hasn't appeared much, it really seems like it was just for fun. Soon it was the day of the bidding. As Adrian's fiancé, I went with him and met Charles, who was also bidding. How come Charles looks at me with some lingering affection? I have no time to care about those, I'm waiting to see the result. To make the setup more realistic, Adrian deliberately raised the price, and the Sue Group followed in raising. In the end, this project exceeded the estimated bidding value, and the Sue Group stopped following. Seeing that the Beau Group was about to win, Charles still made a move, even though it would be difficult for his family to swallow. Whether as a stepping stone to climb onto the Sue Group's big tree or to compete with Adrian, Charles is a man, he definitely doesn't want to admit he's inferior. I smiled at Adrian, it's done. Adrian was called away for something. I waited for him at the door and bumped into Charles, who successfully bid. Sylvia, so what if you have the Beau Group? Soon I'll cooperate with the Sue Group. If you regret now, it's still in time. Whose dog ate shit and forgot to wipe, rubbing against people upon seeing them? You, Sylvia, you'll regret it, we'll see. How blind was I back then to fall for such a thing? I'm very looking forward to Charles's reaction when he sees I'm the president of the Sue Group. Sylvia, this is some information I investigated about the Bai family, you should find it interesting after reading. Adrian, why did you think of investigating the Bai family? When investigating your ex-husband, I checked along the way, there would be unexpected gains. Is this you flattering me? No, this is me pursuing you, a small gift offered. Give me a chance? President Sue. I think it's good. Sylvia, the GU Group president is visiting, he's sitting in the reception room now. Just say I'm not in, give him an invitation to the Sue Group president's appearance in a few days, say we can talk then. Okay, President. You're trying to whet people's appetite. Isn't it good? Don't you think lifting someone high and then dropping them makes the memory more profound and more relieving? Sylvia is indeed formidable, but also petty, repaying every grudge. I'm just making them return to where they originally should be, otherwise, after a long time, they won't know their own weight. This President Sue of the Sue Group has never been seen in the industry, now finally appearing, the momentum obviously has a trend to surpass Adrian. Yes, one of the two old major families in Luo City, don't know if male or female. We'll know in a bit. Charles, are you sure you'll stand on our side? Summer is very anxious now. Because of Sylvia, she was fired by the Beau group, and now the only one she can grasp is Charles. I have the Nanching project in hand. This is my meeting gift to the Sue group. There won't be problems. Hope everything goes smoothly. During the two's conversation, Adrian and I arrived. Because of the title of Adrian's fiancé, it attracted many people's attention to me. Of course, the most intense gaze was Summer's. After all, I got everything she dreamed of. Charles had never seen such a dazzling Sylvia. For a moment, he was dazed. This was originally all his. Summer noticed Charles's reaction, her fingers tightly clenched, trying hard to relax herself. Sylvia, why does everyone like you? Welcome everyone to the Sue Group's banquet. I know many people are here to catch a glimpse of our president's true appearance, so without further ado, please welcome our president, Miss Sylvia Sue, to the stage. Hello everyone, I am Sylvia, president of the Sue Group. I believe everyone already knows me from before. I won't introduce much here. I hope everyone who came to the Sue Group today can eat and play well. Thank you. While Sylvia was speaking, Charles was already stunned, with only 2 words in his mind, it's over. No wonder the previous visit wasn't allowed. Why insist on this banquet? Why Sylvia didn't take anything after divorcing him? It turns out she is the president of the Sue Group. Summer was also stunned. She didn't expect Sylvia's real identity to be so powerful. Then, the things she did before, has she found out? No, definitely not. Compared to Summer's disarray, Charles ultimately braced himself and went forward to talk. Sylvia, Charles, you'd better call me Mrs. Adrian, otherwise, my fiancé will be jealous. We really have no chance, right? Charles, do you know that from the beginning, the messages leaked to you were instructed by me? From my engagement to now letting you see my identity, it was all my plan, just to put the Goo Group in a deadlock. Sylvia, do you really hate me so much? Not really, it's just that during those 3 years chasing you, I really liked you. The Goo Group developed so fast also because of me, otherwise, where do you think those orders came from? Now I just want to take back my things. So you're going to destroy the Goo Group? I didn't, I left an opportunity for the Goo Group. It depends on how Charles performs. Sylvia, you're still soft-hearted, Adrian said. Not at all, you forgot, Summer is still there. You say, former lovers turning against each other, isn't that also a good show? I'm very glad you're not my enemy. The subsequent result was as I expected. If Charles operated the Goo Group well, they could get through this crisis, but Summer privately embezzled public funds, leading to the project's capital chain not keeping up. The Goo Group suffered severe deficits, and ended in bankruptcy. Charles came to find me several times later, but was blocked by Adrian. Helen still wanted to play the family card with me, called many times on the phone, and even Vivian started apologizing to me. You see, the world is like this, when you have no ability, everyone bullies you. Once you change identity, you become a hot commodity. As for Summer, before returning to the country, she owed a high amount of usury. The Bai family is also at the end of its tether, unable to pay the debt. If she can't make up the money, she'll be sent to Africa's red light district. So she turned to Charles. Just didn't expect that this fire would eventually burn herself. Penniless Summer blamed all the faults on me, and in the underground garage, drove to try to kill me. Fortunately, I have a strong life. I just lay in the hospital for half a month, and Adrian took care of me for half a month. I looked at Adrian peeling an apple and had the thought to tease him. Adrian, you really like me, but when did you have this thought for me? How come I don't know? Tell me, I want to hear. This is a secret, can't say. Looking at me acting shamelessly on the hospital bed, Adrian smiled, still the same as when young. After I was discharged, the two families began to discuss the wedding date, set on National Day. I wore a custom wedding dress, full of joy, and married this man who had liked me for a long time. The wedding was live broadcasted. He wished the whole world knew I was his. As for Summer, she went to prison for attempted murder. Adrian found someone inside to pay close attention to her, and the Bai family moved away entirely. And the Charles family is probably nestled in some remote corner living their impoverished days. But what does that have to do with me? After all, my beautiful life is just beginning.